You're listening to Your Highest Self podcast, episode 41. Today, we're talking about how you can ditch self-doubt and get started, business and goals edition. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for taking the time to invest in your mind and doing it with me today. In case you are new, welcome. My name is Shanae and I'm your host. I'm a retired WBFF Bikini Pro. And in this show, I help you on your journey towards becoming your highest self. And I love doing that, not just with fitness and nutrition, because I was a former bikini pro and fitness expert, but also with personal development tools. And I love helping you go from self-conscious to self-confident in mind, in your body, towards achieving your goals and building your business. So I'm really excited to bring you today's episode. Like I had mentioned last week, I am putting myself out there and starting to create some more content around helping aspiring coaches. I have been doing this behind the scenes since last year for like over a year now. And I'm finally kind of coming forward with it. I've just realized so much how much I love helping women level up and reach their secret dream. And that secret dream could be anything, right? It could be like you wanting to write a book. It could be you wanting to just start a lifestyle blog, or it could be you wanting to start your own business. And I didn't realize how many of you wanted to start your own business. And so I'm here to help you with that. So tune in today and we are going to talk about the mindset shift you need to make to ditch self-doubt, how to believe in yourself around creating content and starting a business, and how to build your self-confidence and develop an unwavering commitment to achieving your goals, which is like 1,000% necessary. So I'm really excited to do that. Before we get into today's episode, I just wanted to personally invite you into a new mastermind that I am hosting for aspiring health, fitness, and life coaches. So this is going to be a 7-month program. It's going to start in May and go all the way to November. And if you've been wanting to build a business, if you have a couple clients and things aren't kind of moving along and you are feeling self-conscious about putting yourself out there or creating content, or you're just not sure like what the next step is or like how to start, then this mastermind is perfect for you. I'll be mentoring and guiding you on building your online coaching business. I'm going to be having guest experts come in monthly to teach you different specific aspects of business that I'm not an expert in, like finances, marketing, branding, copywriting. I'm good at all those things. I've had to learn how to do it. Again, another thing people don't teach you. When you start a coaching business, you aren't just a coach. You have to learn like all these other things on the side. So all those things that I'm not an expert at, but you need to know those things in order to build a successful and profitable online business. So if that's you, join us. I'm so excited. I am currently getting on calls with you guys to make sure you're a good fit for the program. So if you would like, you can just go down to the show notes, send in an application, and then I'll email you so we can get on a call. Several of these spots have already been filled, and I'm only taking on 8 clients because there's only one in me, and mentoring you with your mindset to build your coaching business does take a lot of energy. And so once those 8 spots are filled, they're filled. I can't add any more. So if this feels like a hell yes, and you have messaged me, because a few of you have, about mentoring and mindset coaching so you can reach your goals, this is it. This is your chance. I'm so excited. So without further ado, let's get into this episode. I love talking about mindset, you know that. And one of the mindset shifts that has radically changed my life, and also what I know that you need to have, is what I call being a plan A type of girl. So ditching self-doubt and getting started, it's all in your head. You not believing in yourself is a choice. You not getting started is a choice. And part of that choice is because you're letting fear dictate your actions. You're going to fail. You will. I think I tell you guys this like every other episode. You will fail. Life is going to be hard. You're not going to be successful on the first try. But when you become a plan A type of girl, that is the mindset shift, then that stuff doesn't matter, because you are so fully committed to your plan that you've decided that this is going to work for you and that you are good enough. That's like the key thing. Plan A girls, we know that we're good enough. We are so fully committed. We are so freaking obsessed with this goal and this dream and this vision that it doesn't matter if we fail 20 times along the way. We pivot, we get back up, and we do it again. Like, that is the mindset that you need in order to be successful. I learned this mindset from competing. I was a professional competitor for many, many, many years. Like, I did a lot of shows, and the first 3 shows I did as a pro, I lost. Like, I got last place in them. But I picked myself back up. I looked at what I did wrong. I invested in coaches. I invested in posing coaches. I invested in better bikinis. I invested in coaches to help me level up each and every time. So my plan A for competing was I was going to win. I got very close, but I got second. I didn't actually win, but I did get second. And that was my plan A. Like, I was like, actually, side note on that, sometimes your plan A, like, things don't always come out the way that they're supposed to be, but things will always happen the way that they are supposed to for you in your life. And I think getting second, that was supposed to happen to me. Anyhow, that is the mindset shift you need to make. You need to be so obsessed with your plan A that plan B is not an option. Plan A is your only option, and failure doesn't hold you back. You know that it's just a stepping stone that's going to bring you closer and closer and closer to where you want to be. Being a plan A type of girl is just a choice. That's all it is. Just a choice. To give you some context, I was the most, like, if we rewind to like 2014, 6 years ago, I was the most insecure. I had demons in my head. I didn't believe in myself. I was so insecure. But I really wanted to build a business. But I really wanted to be a coach. I really, really wanted to help people. And so when I talk about, like, the tips I'm about to give you, that's not coming from someone who is just naturally confident. That's not coming from someone who is handed things. I really had to develop my confidence over the years and really figure it out. So if you are telling yourself right now in your head, like, oh, wow, yeah, Sinead, that might have worked for you, but it doesn't work for me. You don't know my circumstances. No. What do I always tell you? Your thoughts create your experiences, not your circumstances. So me, despite having no self-belief, despite not believing in myself, and despite having all these demons in my head, I decided that I was going to have a business. I decided that I was going to make these goals happen for myself. And so I did. And just like as a side note, I had an ex-boyfriend tell me that I was never going to have a business. He told me that I would never win a show. He told me that people would never, watch my videos or read my blogs or hire me for online coaching. So all that insecurity I felt was a belief that wasn't even mine. It was given to me from him. And then I thought that belief over so many times that it became my identity. So breaking that identity and like breaking up with like who I used to be to create this new person, not even new, but just like go back to who I know I truly am, was a process. But I hope that by giving you these tips today, I can fast forward your process, and it won't be as painful as mine. So anyways, that is the mindset shift. Be a plan A type of girl. Just be so fully obsessed with your goals. One more thing about that before we get into like the rest of the content is that being obsessed with your goals, what I mean by that is that you don't get distracted by other things. So say you have a goal of creating content, but you get distracted by a text or this show or someone else, or you start scrolling Instagram and you look at what everyone else is posting and you're like, oh, how does she write her captions? Or how does she make her videos? Or how does she do her photos? You are getting distracted because you're not obsessed with your goal. When you are obsessed with your goals distract you. You might be scrolling Instagram or watching TV and you're so obsessed with your goals that the other part of your head is like, ooh, I really want to work. I really want to like do my thing. That's what it feels like to be obsessed towards your goals. You get distracted by them, not during them. Okay? So if that's not you, then we got to get you obsessed. And we can get you obsessed by joining my mastermind. Shameless plug. So let's get into it. So I'm going to break this down for you in 3 different areas. We're going to talk about Instagram, about creating content, because I know that if you are an aspiring coach, like, you know that you have to put yourself out there, whether that be on YouTube or Instagram or a podcast, like whatever platform you want to use. Like, you have to do this or else your clients can't find you. I'm going to give you the how to ditch self-doubt and get started when it came to like building my business, and then also to building my self-belief for just any goal. So if you're like, I don't really want to be a coach or be an entrepreneur, but I love just reaching goals, then all of this still applies to you. You just kind of have to like change my vocabulary a little bit. So always remember in the back of your head that mindset shift. Be a plan A type of girl. That's going to be like, you have to have that turned on all the time. So now when it comes to Instagram, for you to ditch self-doubt and get started, the 2 things you need to do is, first, you need to take yourself out of the equation. Creating content is not about you. Building this business is not about you. It is about the person that you are trying to help. So when you start to get those negative voices in your head that say like, who are you to be doing this? Who are you to be talking about this? You still struggle with this. Why do you think that you have the authority to help anybody else? It's not about you. It's about the other person. And you only have to be a couple steps ahead of someone in order to help them. That's it. Like, you don't have to be light years ahead, millions of years ahead. When I was first doing fitness coaching, I was just a couple steps in front of that person. Like, I hadn't been a trainer for 5 years. I had been a trainer for like a year. So don't believe those thoughts. Do the work. Is this thought true? Is it really true? Blah, blah, blah. You know what the work is by now, I hope. But really, you got to take yourself out of that equation. Second part about, so that's how you ditch your self-doubt. Now, to get started, start to create content that is of value to your audience. And I mean like really of value. And when you create content that's really valuable, what happens is they get to know you, like you, and trust you. And that's really, really, really important. So valuable content is like stuff that people would pay money for. It's stuff that it's like, wow, I had to take out my notebook and take notes. So many people, like so many of you guys, reach out to me on Instagram and you're like, I love your podcast, but I have to take notes while I'm listening. So I can't always listen while I'm at work. Or I like will record a voice note to myself about something that you said, so I remind myself to go see it later. That makes me so happy. And that is valuable content. So when you are creating valuable content, the self-doubt kind of naturally goes away because you know you're not being scammy. Like, you know that you're really doing this from a place of like servitude and because you want to help people. And that is like the best tip that I can give you about just ditching self-doubt, is make sure if you create valuable content, then there's no reason to doubt yourself. There's no reason to feel bad about it. And when those negative voices in your head that say, who are you to be creating this? You're not the authority. You don't know anything yet. You just calmly observe your thoughts and you do the work on them and you do a thought model on it. Because this is going to like go into like my next thing to teach you, but those thoughts never go away. Like, as you get better and as you get more confident, you're able to overcome them faster, but you will never, ever be rid of those thoughts, ever. They're never going to go away. So if you can learn to just be an observer of your thoughts, and when those negative thoughts pop up, you are able to just sort of like acknowledge them, recognize them, and then pick a new thought model to go with, then you move through life so much faster and easier. But one more thing before I move on to that about creating content is that the first, maybe like, it's kind of different for everyone, but let's give you an average number. The first probably 3 to 6 months, no one's going to be reading your stuff. And I say that with so much love, but no one's going to comment, no one's going to like, and no one's going to read. Like, maybe like if you already have people that are following you, then yes, they will. But what a great opportunity to start to put in the reps, to start to put in the work. To start to learn how to edit better, write better captions, take better photos. But if you're not starting because things aren't perfect yet, I'm sorry to tell you, but like no one's even going to start reading them right away. So as you put in the work and you put in the reps and you get better and better and you start showing up consistently, people start to see that and they start to trust you. If you post once a month and it's so inconsistent and it's not valuable and half the stuff is just like fluffy, like, oh, here's my dog. Today I had this for lunch and nothing is of value, then they're not going to come back and they're not going to trust you. Like you're not going to be top of mind when it comes to, oh, she says she posts really great like recipes. Like you're not going to be that person they think of because you're so inconsistent. They don't trust you yet. So if your excuse to yourself is that my shit's not perfect, so I can't put it out there, no one's even going to read it until you're consistent for at least 3 months. At least. And it's kind of like when I worked at Equinox as a trainer. This might sound hoity-toity, but after I had been there for like 3-4 years, I didn't talk to any of the new people until they were there for at least 3 months, because the turnaround was so fast. Like someone would work there for like a month and be gone. And then so it was like, I'm just not gonna try and be your friend or mentor you if you're not here for at least 3 months, because then that's just a waste of my time. And I know that maybe sounds a little bit not rude, but you know what I mean? It sounds a little bit like harsh, but it's just true. And that's how people on Instagram think about you. If you're not going to be consistent with your content and be of value and help me, because we're all selfish. When someone reads your content, they're like, what's in it for me? That's why that first tip of it's not about you, like that's why it works to take the self-doubt, because it really isn't about you. So people are selfish when they're reading your content. They're thinking, okay, what does this have to do for me? And if you can't be there for them for at least 3 months consistently and creating really valuable content, then they're not going to know you or like you or trust you. So to wrap this tip all up, you just need to get started. No one's going to be there anyways. And what a great time to get started when no one is there. I literally didn't have people commenting on my post for like the first 6 months. And you just got to put in the reps. You got to keep putting in the work. The trophy is earned in the hours that no one is watching. We're going to leave that one there. Next tip about building your business. So whether this is like a coaching business or just a side coaching, or maybe you just want to mentor people, whatever it is, one of the biggest things that you need to do in order to ditch the self-doubt is to make a big investment. It's taboo to talk about money, I guess, but this is one of the things that's kind of like a behind the scenes of an entrepreneur that most people probably don't talk about, but you have to invest in your business if you want it to get anywhere. And oftentimes you have to invest in your business before you've made any money. And this was true for me, and it's true for a lot of my colleagues in the coaching industry who are still coaching now. The reason why making an investment in your business works is it's scary, it's uncomfortable, but it's the type of uncomfortable and accountability we need. It's really true. I tried for so long to like build a business and to do it. And I did all the Googling and I knew how to do all the things, but I wasn't actually doing anything. Because I was still in my comfort zone. I didn't really have I really wanted to coach and I wanted to build an online business, but I just didn't have that accountability I needed. And making a really large investment monetary wise, when you don't have the money, it kind of lights a fire under your ass. And I guess this advice is so different for people because people take money conversations in such a different way. But truly, I'm not trying to force you to believe anything. This isn't a belief thing, but from my experience and from what I know and from all the books I've read, but about financial abundance and everything like that, when we make investments in ourselves, we level up. It's science. I'm just kidding. It's not science, but it works. And so the other thing about making a really big investment in yourself is when you do invest in something like a mastermind, you've heard the saying, you become the 5 people you spend the most time with. Imagine making an investment into a mastermind and being placed with people who are committed to their goals, who are leveling up, who are obsessed, who currently work a 9-to-5, but they want to build their coaching business and they want to be able to quit and they want to just be able to work from home and doing their business. Imagine spending time with 7 of those people every single week. imagine how much you level up, not only in your self-belief, but your belief in them. Because when you see them killing it, when you see their coaching programs getting booked out, when you see them creating content and like you're a part of them because you're part of the same mastermind, it's so motivating. It's so empowering. I'm in masterminds. I invest in myself. I'm always in a mastermind. And the one that I'm in this year, it's called the Thought Leader Collective. And I'm so inspired by the leaders in my group. I mean, they're all doing really big things and they're all so diverse. Like one person is a business coach for health coaches. One person is a coach for service providers. Another one has this dream and this goal of raising awareness for the deaf community. Like, it's just like amazing people. And so when I'm around people like this, part of my identity gets wrapped into theirs because we're part of the same group. And so that's why making big investments, as scary as they might be and uncomfortable they might be financially, when you have that belief in yourself and you do it, then you make your investment back plus more. The first time I invested in my business, I made six times it back again. So it paid for itself. And then I had like 5 times over that. So I was very happy. The other thing about making an investment in your business is just like making an investment to get a fitness coach. A lot of times when you don't believe in yourself, you need to find a coach who believes in you so damn much that they will hold the vision for you during times of self-doubt. So I kind of touched on this earlier, but your self-doubt isn't going to go away completely. It's going to dissipate, but it's never going to go away completely because as humans, it's just how we are. And while it doesn't go away completely, you just get better at working through the fear. And so that's why I think having a coach is so helpful. There's been so many times that I doubted myself this year, like 2020, especially when it comes to up-leveling my business and pivoting and allowing myself to not just do fitness and nutrition coaching anymore. Like I love doing more life coaching and mentoring. Doing that pivot, like I really needed my coach there to really help me with my vision and help me believe in myself, because as much work as we do, sometimes we just need support. And I'm not afraid to say that I get that support. I am who I am because of the investments that I've made into my business and into myself. Like I am a personal development junkie. Like you see all the books I read, you see the coaches I hire, you see the conferences I go to, you see the masterminds I join. Like I'm always learning and reinvesting in myself. And that's why I've gotten to where I am. Last tip about building your self-belief for any goals, so ditching the self-belief so you can get started. One is to visualize. And you can do this through doing visualization meditations, because when you have a vision for something that you desire, that means that it's been put on your heart for a reason. And when you start to believe in those visions and believe that, wow, so to get a little bit like woo-woo / sciencey with you, your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and make-believe. Example, imagine a situation where you are super scared, like maybe delivering a speech or talking to that new guy or asking someone for their number, something that really terrifies you. When you think about it happening, do you not feel your body reacting? Do you feel your heart starting to beat a little bit faster? Do you feel your palms getting sweaty? Do you feel your body getting anxious? Right? And it's not even real. So your mind does not know the difference between make-believe and reality. So when you are imagining and visualizing a life that you want and you're able to put your mind there, your body starts to respond to it. And we're going to talk about that next week in next week's episode about being, what does it mean to be? But visualizing is a huge component to building your self-belief. Because if you visualize something, the other part of it is that it's been put on your heart for a reason. You wouldn't have that vision of something if it wasn't for a reason. This is where I have this really strong belief that I don't question God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it, but I don't question it. If I have a desire, if I have a vision that I really want to help this type of person achieve this type of goal, or I really want to make this happen and come to life, I don't question it. And that is a type of unwavering belief and commitment that you can also develop and create with yourself. Part of that kind of goes back to the self-investment thing I talked about, but not just in masterminds, but just time in yourself. So how much time do you spend investing in yourself? I talk about the 5 ways you can invest in yourself, which is reading, meditating, journaling, resting, like actually relaxing, and then working out, moving your body. Those are different ways that you can invest in yourself. When you invest time in yourself, you're telling yourself that you matter. You are plan A type of girl. You are obsessed with your life and who you are and what you want to achieve. Investing in yourself is the best thing that you can do for your self-belief. Getting started on investing in yourself and believing in yourself all really comes down to, I think those 5 things are a perfect place to start. Like if you have no idea where, pick one of the 5. Maybe you just start reading every single day. Join my book club. Maybe you start working out every single day. Hire a fitness coach. Maybe you start, you don't even have to hire people, but you know what I'm talking about? Just pick one of those things and start and be committed to it and keep that promise and commitment to yourself. And what that does is it starts to build your confidence and it starts to build on your self-worth. So confidence is not what you look like or what you have. Confidence is built through action. It's built through showing up for yourself day over day, time after time, and like saying, I'm going to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. And then when you wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning and you do that every single day for a week, at the end of the week, you have so much more confidence in yourself because you believe in yourself. You trust yourself. You know that you make things happen. So that's how you get rid of self-doubt, is by making small investments in yourself time over time. So success is the accumulation of small efforts, like totaled up time over time. I think I've said that quote like last week or something as well. So part of that is about having positive self-image. So what do you believe is possible for you? Do you believe that it's possible for you to have the life that you want? Do you believe that it's possible for you to have the relationship that you want? Do you believe it's possible for you to have the body and fitness and lifestyle that you want? If you don't have positive self-image and positive self-belief, then nothing will happen and work for you. And I know in this episode, we're talking about how to ditch it. And again, be a plan A type of girl. Burn all your boats. Be so fully obsessed and committed to your life and your goals that nothing else is an option. My last sort of tip for you on this, or just like something that I want to remind you, is that the pain of staying stuck is far greater than the pain it's going to take you to get on the other side. The pain of staying stuck is far, far greater than the pain it will take you to get to the other side. I promise you that if you don't do anything about it and you stay where you are, it's going to be miserable. For you to put in the work and put in the action of getting started, that's going to be miserable too. I'm not saying it's not. It's going to take a lot of hard work. It's going to take a lot of sacrifice. Pushing yourself out of your comfort zone is exhausting. The girls inside my coaching programs will tell you it's exhausting to work on yourself like this sometimes. It takes so much effort, so much work to heal and grow. But it's not as painful as being stuck where you are for the rest of your life. So you have a choice. Do you want to stay stuck in self-doubt, or do you want to have the life of your dreams? Do you want to continue to be a self-conscious nobody, or do you want to be a self-confident leader? Because I know for sure if you're listening to this show, then you are obsessed with your life. You are obsessed with your personal development. You want to go places. You want to do things. You want to make an impact. You want to help people. You want to be the best that you possibly can be. And that's freaking awesome. So put in the work, put in the time, make the sacrifices, ditch your self-doubt, and get started, because the world needs you. That's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for being here. I hope it was helpful. If this episode resonated with you, take a screenshot, post it on your stories, and send me a DM. I'd love to know what your biggest insight was. Again, if you'd like to join the mastermind, all the details are down below in the show notes. Go ahead and send in your application, and you and I can get on a call. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. Don't forget to be your highest self. Bye for now.